class, how is everyone today? Today we are going to be talking about something that's very interesting and something that might actually change your thought process about yourself. So today our topic is Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Okay, so to begin, you may ask yourself, what is multiple intelligences? That's not a term you may have heard before, or at least not often. So let's go over just briefly kind of what that means. The concept of multiple intelligences means that different people can be intelligent in different ways. The thought that we all have our own strengths. Now, we all know we have our own strengths, obviously, because we're all good at certain things. So this is the concept of multiple intelligences. Where do you shine? Okay. Now, when it comes to multiple intelligences, there are three very common intelligences that you may have heard of. Now, the three most common intelligences that you've probably heard of are visual learner, auditory learner, and kinesthetic learner, as in hands-on. Okay, these terms have been used definitely in school, so you should be somewhat familiar with them. And you need to take out a piece of paper. Now, don't lose your paper because you're going to need it later in class as your exit slip to leave, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about yourself. Out of the three mentioned intelligences, so visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, which do you think you are? How would you classify yourself? I'm going to give you about 15, 20 seconds. I want you to write that down. Okay, everyone should have their answer now. And don't worry if you're not really that sure. It's not a make or break. You'll be fine. All right, so let's continue. All right, so our title did say Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So first question, right? Who is Howard Gardner? And then what exactly did he say? So Dr. Howard Gardner is a professor of education at Harvard University. Yes, Harvard, the one we have all heard of and aspire to maybe one day be able to attend. He's obviously, or I assume, pretty intelligent because he is attached to Harvard. Now, his theory of multiple intelligences was developed in 1983, and it suggests that the traditional notion of intelligence, which is based on IQ testing, is far too limited. Instead, Dr. Gardner initially proposed 7 different intelligences to account for a broader range of human potential in children and adults. However, he now proposes 9. So we already heard about the 3 most common that we've seen around. Okay, now think about this. Multiply that by 3. There's actually 9 versions of intelligence, okay? Let's look over the 9 different intelligences. We're going to start with 1 through 4. Okay, so our very first one is visual and spatial. This is when people think in terms of physical space, like architects and sailors would do this. You're very aware of your environment. You would like to draw, do jigsaw puzzles, read maps, daydream, okay? They can be taught through drawings, verbal, and physical imagery. Okay, so all these fall under visual and spatial. Then we have bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. Okay, this is when people use the body effectively, like a dancer or a surgeon. You have very good sense of body awareness, movement, making things, touching things. My husband would be a bodily. Okay, he's a builder. He builds things with his hands on a daily basis. Okay, then you have musical. So you show sensitivity to rhythm and sound. You love music. You're sensitive to the sounds and environments. Okay, so if you have no rhythm and you're completely off tune and key in every way, maybe not so musical. All right, next, interpersonal. This is where you're understanding and interacting with others. Okay, you learn through your interaction. You have lots of friends, you have empathy for others, street smarts. Okay, you can be taught through group activities, seminars, dialogues, things like that. Okay, next. Okay, we have intrapersonal, which is understanding one's own interests and goals. This interpersonal intelligence means that you tend to shy away from others, but you are in tune with your own self, your own feelings. You would have wisdom and intuition and motivation, okay? Next, we have linguistic. This is where you use words effectively. These learners have highly developed auditory skills and often think in words. They like reading, playing word games, making up poetry and stories. I definitely fall to some degree in this because I have a degree in writing and things, so I do connect myself with linguistic. So as we go through, I want you to think about what it is that you connect with, all right? We then have logical, mathematical. This is where you're good at reasoning and calculating. You think conceptually, abstractly, and are able to see and explore patterns and relationships. You're going to like to experiment, solve puzzles, ask cosmic questions. Okay? Now, those were the first 7. Remember, he started with 7 and went to 9. These last 2 are the 2 that he added. So then we have naturalistic intelligence, which is the ability to recognize and categorize plants, animals, and other objects in nature. And lastly, we have existential intelligence. This is sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions about human existence, such as what is the meaning of life? Why do we die? How did we get here? Okay, you've probably all known that person. They're an existential intelligent person. Okay, we want to just simplify this down a little bit because obviously there was a big definition behind each word. We can just break it down to kind of like a 2-word thing here. All right, so we have linguistic intelligence, which is word smart, logical mathematical intelligence, number or reasoning smart, spatial intelligence, picture smart, bodily and kinesthetic intelligence, body smart, musical intelligence, music smart, interpersonal intelligence, people smart, intrapersonal intelligence, self smart, naturalistic intelligence, nature smart, and lastly, existential intelligence, which I deemed deep thinker. That was not listed online, so that's why it doesn't end in smart, but it still makes sense. All right, so we've gone through all 9 of these intelligences now. So this is what I want you to do. At the beginning of class, you wrote down one of 3 intelligence that you classified yourself as. Now, the question is this. Now that you know there are more than 3 intelligences, has your answer changed? Do you classify yourself differently? Do you think, yeah, no, I'm definitely not a visual learner or whatnot. I'm actually this learner. So looking at all 9, I want you to write down what intelligence you are now that you've heard all 9. So take just a minute and do that. Okay. Now, I'm very curious to see if your answers are different or the same. But either way, whether they're different or the same, I want you to realize that you are intelligent, even though you might not be the same type of intelligence as the person next to you. But you are unique and special in your way. You just got to figure out which way it is and then use those strengths. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have a fabulous day and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Bye.